episode of Playmakers ko Ravinder Hunia tōku ingoa. This weekend, New Zealand heavyweight boxer Joseph Parker will face Derek Chisora for the second time in Manchester, and he joins us now to tell us all about it. Kia ora, kia koe, Joe.
Kia ora, kia ora.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure it's a pretty busy time for you right now over in the UK.
Yeah, like going into fight week, everything starts picking up. Interviews, still training every day, trying to get the best rest we can, eating clean. So things are picking up, but that's when the excitement starts to pick up as well. You know, heading into fight week, getting closer to the fight, and then the reward is the fight on Saturday. 'Tis
indeed. Look, I wanted to ask you first off about having a rematch. It's the first of your career. So how have preparations gone, working towards a rematch as opposed to opponents that you've fought in the past?
I feel the rematch, I know exactly what the opponent's going to bring, and I feel that this is the perfect opportunity and perfect chance for me as a fighter to show the improvements from the first fight to the second fight. I think having a longer camp with my trainer, I understand things more, what he's trying to teach me, and put it into practice, and try and do it every single day. And I feel this is where I have to really show what I've been working on here in the UK.
You won that fight in May via split decision. Does that give you confidence coming into this match that you can only get better?
I feel I can only get better. I feel there's a lot of things that I worked on when I was in New Zealand, when I was traveling around the world, and then entering camp. I just feel like I had a great start to camp, and winning split decision, it's always good to get the win, but it's not the best way of winning. So I want to be a lot more dominant, a lot more aggressive, and go in there and let my hands go and back myself, back my speed and my power.
Derek Chisora said in the press conference, obviously, that he didn't agree with the decision going your way, that split decision. Does that give you perhaps a little fire in the belly to know that you're going to come out this time and prove it once and for all?
I got fire in my belly from a lot of things. I think there's a lot of doubters out there. There's obviously Chisora thinking that he won the fight. I haven't put on the best performances as of late, but I feel with the new camp, new environment, new training, new program, just everything. It's I got this fire in my belly that I want to do a lot better in boxing. I still have a lot to give, and I'm going to go out there and show it this weekend.
Yeah. In that first fight against Chisora, you had, a bit of limited time with new coach and trainer Andy Lee, and now you've spent, this full camp with him and really, probably not gotten to know him more as a coach, but also as a person. So how is that relationship, really built over this camp?
I feel the relationship is a strong relationship, not only in terms of boxing and what we do when we're in the gym, when we're going for runs, when we're in the ring doing pads, punching the bag, but I feel the friendship and the brotherhood is a lot stronger as well. When we're in the gym, it's very intense, and we know that it's time to go to work, and there's no mucking around. But when we're outside of the gym, we play games, we have fun. There's a lot of laughter, a lot of joy, a lot of singing. We all play, we play instruments here, and we know how to have fun. But we know when it's time to have fun and when it's time to work. So our relationship is very strong in every area and every aspect.
You spent such a long time with your former coach, Kevin Barry. So switching over to Andy Lee and on the other side of the world, not that you're too unfamiliar with that, having spent time in Las Vegas, but, what are you taking away from Andy Lee right now? What are the things that he's showing you that perhaps you've never seen before?
There's a lot of things. I think with Kevin, there was nothing wrong with training with Kevin, and everything was fine. We achieved a lot together, but I feel like I just needed something fresh and something new, and just a new pair of eyes to give me things that I haven't really experienced before, things I haven't tried before or seen before. And I think just taking it all away and getting back to the basics, getting back to the fundamentals, working on things that sometimes you forget when you get to a certain level, and a lot of footwork, a lot of footwork. My feet are sore, my calves are sore, but I feel like I've improved in that area a lot.
So that's the one thing he's recognised that you needed to work on?
Footwork, stance. There's a lot of things, but that's one of them. That's one of the bigger things.
Andy Lee, of course, the connection was made by way of current heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. And that relationship you have with him is so interesting, not only because you two are both fighting and that sort of thing, but the fact that you're both in the same division. People talk about, there could be a time where that fight could even happen. It's probably something you thought about in the past. But talk to us about that relationship, because it's a very unique one.
it's a very unique relationship. I've always said in the past that I want to fight the best in the world, and I believe Tyson is the best in the world. There's Usyk and there's Tyson, and they both have the belts, but I believe Tyson's above. And I've always wanted to test myself against the best in the world. I don't think that's in his plans. I don't think that's in my plans now. I think we're very close, and I'm not sure what his plans are. He might fight for a year. He might fight for 5 years, 10 years. He might have one fight, 10 fights. So, but he's made it very clear that we will never fight. And he looks after me like a younger brother. He's only one of the best for me. I've been here in the UK. He's given me his gym to use. He's connected me with Andy. He's given me his massage therapist, his strength conditioning trainer. He's given me the meal prep guys, everything. So like I have no complaints, and I have no want to fight him just because we're just so close. And I think he's going to go down his own route. He's going to do his own thing, and there's other belts for me to chase.
What are the things you've taken away from Tyson Fury? Because it's one thing to be, training and sparring, with partners. It's another when you're in the company of a fighter like Tyson Fury. So what are the things that perhaps are rubbing off on you from him?
I think, including myself, there's David Nico, who's here with me as well, there's Andy Lee. But I think the biggest thing for me that I've taken away from Tyson Fury is his mindset. Like his mindset is on another level, in terms of training, in terms of he just wants the best for himself. He's going to do everything in his power to be in the best shape. And he has this confidence in himself that I've never seen in anyone else before.
It's amazing. And you do see that when he comes out for these fights. Like, it's quite, it's extravagant and, very colourful and things like that. But he does exude that confidence. Is that something that you feel you've had to maybe build and hone in on when you're carrying on through your career?
Yeah, I feel it's something that just being around him, I've actually, a lot of people have learned from him, but just being around him, I've learned a lot myself. And I have a lot of confidence in myself and what I can do in the ring because of obviously the environment I'm in, but also because of the work that I've done. And he is probably the fittest person that I ever trained with in my whole life in terms of boxing. Like, he never stops. We do 15 rounds of training, and then after that, we're all exhausted. He's like, let's do another 15 more. Like, this guy there's levels to it, and this guy's on another level.
When you're with him and you're training with him, and then you were obviously there for his last fight where he was, fighting for titles, as were you once upon a time, does it give you that fuel again to, I want to be back there. I want to be on that level again as a heavyweight champion?
Yeah, after seeing this fight, and winning, in great fashion, and he's like, it was this mega star in Vegas who won this massive fight, and it's big news around the world. I want to be, I want to be the champion of the world again, and that gave me a lot of drive. And he's obviously with all the help that he's given me, but seeing that firsthand up close, it makes me want to do that again myself. And so I have goals on again, but I just want to take it fight at a time and not look too far ahead.
Now, also, you've mentioned David Nico's name. He's fresh off getting a medal at the Olympics, which was really awesome. And then he made the decision to also come over to the UK where you are. And there's just this great, this vision of you guys training together. And it really feels like, a slice of home for you as well. What have you seen from David Nico and his progression in camp so far?
I think David Nico is a very special fighter. I think he's very gifted. He works very hard. And the good thing is, too, he knows how to cook. Listen, Andy does most of the cooking, but when Andy's away, he jumps in. I do all the basic stuff like the toast and avocado and all that, just the easy stuff.
Get the chopping and buttering, yeah.
But it's good to have someone like him, from home, and someone who has the same drive, someone who has the same energy, someone who has big goals and big aspirations, and someone who just works very hard. And I think that's important to be working alongside someone like him, and it's great. He's a great person to have in camp.
Does David have a specialty meal that he cooks in camp?
Listen, he makes some, he makes good pasta, and he makes very good veggies, like the broccoli. The way that he did this, the long stem broccoli, was outstanding. But none of us can touch Andy. Andy is the man in the kitchen. Chef
Andy. All right, we'll keep that in mind. Look, David Nico's opponent has been announced. He's also preparing to fight on the same card as yourself. How do you see this fight going, and what are the things that you see David Nico, just starting to nail now that, fight night is coming?
He's just making that transition from fighting as an amateur to the program. And I think with Andy and you know Andy's reputation, also the experience that he has, and he's able to pass on to him. It's sort of like he's sort of, well, both of us really, sort of stripped us back and teaching us the basics again and working on basic things that we need to perfect first. And I think we're both in the same, moving from one trainer to the next. We're both learning, we're both picking things up. But I feel with what I've seen with David, he's going to put on a great performance, and he's ready for it. He's ready for his UK debut and his second pro fight in his career.
Yeah, it's so exciting and awesome to see. Look, I'll turn the wheel a little bit here. Joseph, how is your family? Because over the years, we've watched you and your parents and your family be so very, very close. I'm guessing that, when it was time to say goodbye, that, Mum, she was probably happy for you, but, there would have been a few tears. This new boxing chapter in your life is a very different one. So how has the family adapted to your new journey?
They're very excited because it's something new, and they see how much I love boxing and how much I want to learn and grow as a fighter. But it's very hard when you say goodbye to your family, your parents. First, I said bye to my wife, my kids, and I was here for 7 weeks until I was. They're blessed now; they're able to join me. They're up here in the UK, but my parents and my brother and sister are back home, and I got a lot of family and friends back home, and it was hard to say bye to them. But doing this because I have a goal, and I'm doing this because I want to achieve something in boxing. I want to give a bit more, and I have their full support. So even though I miss them and I miss back home, but I know they fully support me and back me in what I'm trying to achieve.
That's right. And I know also about your family, a religious one, and there are, a lot of practices that you and your family still do today, prayer and things like that. Do you keep those little things, important for yourself, that little piece of home, as well as, your upbringing, and still implement those little things in camp?
I think it's very important. I mean, do prayers in the morning and night. Every day you wake up and before you sleep, just for protection. But also, when we sit around and have lunch and have dinner, Andy, myself, and David, we always do prayers to bless the food. So there's little things that we do carry on and still implement when we're in camp. And it's, I think it's important. It's important to have balance in life: physical, spiritual, mental.
A win over Chisora, Joe, what will it mean for you, especially for your plan for 2022?
A win is very important. Firstly, I have to win, and I have to win well, to win in better fashion than I did in the first fight, and that'll give me the opportunity to lock in another deal with Matchroom and lock in more fights for the future. Did you lose me there? I'm not sure.
No, you're there. No, it's good. The plan.
Sorry.
I mean, the plan seems simple, but the execution is the big part.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you look in camp, how the sparring, punching the bag, punching the pads, running, everything has to come together on fight night. So I've worked very hard, and it's a must win. I'm going to go out there and do my best, and I know what my best can do is to get a win and get a good win in good fashion. And I'm confident because I've put in the work and I'm ready.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much for your time, and all the very, very best for the weekend ahead.
Incoming. Thank you.